Welcome to a deep dive into one of humanity's most enduring tales, the creation story.
Hmm.
We're not naming the specific text just yet,
Right.
but you'll probably recognize some of the details.
Yes, definitely.
What's really incredible is how this particular sequence of events has resonated across cultures for millennia.
It's amazing, isn't it?
So buckle up because we're about to explore a narrative that shaped art philosophy and even our understanding of humanity's place in the universe.
It really has. It's a living story, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It still sparks debate and inspires awe even today.
So let's jump right in.
Okay.
The story kicks off with, well, not much of anything really.
Yeah.
A formless void darkness covering everything and water.
It's like the universe is holding its breath.
Talk about setting the stage.
Right before the big,
Yeah.
this primordial chaos, it actually amplifies the power of what comes next.
Oh, absolutely.
Each act of creation becomes this dramatic burst of order and definition.
And then bam, let there be
Yeah.
light. It's such a simple statement,
Totally.
but it's the foundational act the moment everything shifts.
Exactly. And light isn't just about illumination either.
Right.
It represents knowledge order, the very beginning of things.
Yeah.
It's like flipping a switch in the universe.
Yeah.
And suddenly we have distinction,
Right.
the separation of light and darkness.
From there, we see this pattern repeating.
Yeah.
Separation and naming sky from waterland, from sea.
Mm-hmm.
Each element gets its own designated space and its own name.
Right.
It's like building blocks of a world.
And that act of naming, it's not just about labeling.
Right.
It's about imbuing each element with identity and purpose.
It's giving it a purpose.
You know? And notice how the text repeats this phrase.
Oh, yeah.
And God saw that it was good after each step.
Right.
There's this sense of careful consideration, a deliberate crafting of each piece of the universe.
It's like the creators stepping back,
Yes.
admiring their work,
Taking it all in.
making sure it fits together harmoniously.
Yes.
And speaking of order,
Yeah.
next up is the creation of the sun moon and stars, not just for light, but for something pretty essential to us humans,
Right.
timekeeping.
Yeah, it's so clever.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. It brings structure to the narrative
Absolutely.
and to the world being created. Think about it. Calendars, seasons, the cycles of day and night, they're fundamental to how we understand our place in time.
They really are.
And they're all established right here.
It's like setting the cosmic clock for the entire universe.
Precisely.
And I love that detail about the two great lights, with the greater one ruling the day and the lesser one ruling the night.
Oh, yeah.
Even in the heavens, there's hierarchy and balance.
It speaks to the idea that even within creation, there's diversity, different roles to play.
Okay.
And that sets us up for the next act.
Okay.
One of the most awe-inspiring parts of this whole story, the creation of life itself.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into it.
Right.
It's like the universe just explodes with life.
Doesn't
First, the waters teem with creatures. Then all sorts of animals populate the land. This part always makes me think of those stunning nature documentaries where you see the sheer diversity of life on Earth.
it really does capture that sense of wonder and awe.
Yeah.
And it's not just a random jumble of creatures either.
Right.
There's that intriguing phrase, according to their kinds.
Oh, yeah. That's a good
It suggests an inherent order, a way of categorizing and understanding this abundance of life.
like hinting at the very beginnings of taxonomy.
Exactly. From ancient systems to modern-day biology.
And then there's that line
Oh, yeah.
that's had a profound impact on, well, pretty much everything. Be fruitful and multiply. Talk about a command with far-reaching consequences.
I know. It makes you wonder what that phrase meant to the original audience, right?
Yeah.
Was it purely about procreation, or did it encompass something broader, like the expansion of knowledge or the development of culture?
It's a big question.
It really is. It makes you think about how those ancient ideas still echo in our modern world.
And speaking of shaping the world,
Yes.
we're finally at the arrival of humans, the pinnacle of creation in this story.
Okay.
And not just any creation, but one made in the image of God. What do you make of that?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. The language used to describe human creation sets us apart from everything that came before.
It does.
But what does image of God actually mean? Does it refer to our physical form,
Right.
our intellectual capabilities,
Yeah.
our capacity for moral reasoning? There's so much room for interpretation.
There is.
That's what makes this concept so compelling.
It's a question philosophers and theologians have been wrestling with for centuries.
Yeah.
And there's still no easy answer.
And then there's that whole idea of dominion.
Oh, yeah.
Humans are given dominion over all other living things.
That's a big one.
It's a weighty responsibility and one that raises a lot of questions about our relationship with the natural world.
For sure.
Absolutely. Dominion can be interpreted in so many ways. Does it imply responsible stewardship, a call to care for and protect the environment?
Right.
Or does it suggest a more anthropocentric view?
Yeah.
Where humans are at the top of the hierarchy and can use the Earth's resources as we see fit?
It's a really important question.
How we answer that question has profound implications for how we live, how we interact with other species, and ultimately the future of our planet.
It's like this one line in the story opens up this whole Pandora's box of ethical and philosophical dilemmas. It's amazing how this ancient text can still spark such relevant conversations today.
I know, it's incredible.
But before we get too deep into the philosophical weeds,
Right.
I want to touch on another key moment, the provision of food. After creating humans and animals, God provides plants and seeds for sustenance. It's just this beautiful image of abundance and interconnectedness.
There's a sense of harmony there, right? It emphasizes the interconnectedness of all life.
Yep.
You know, plants nourish humans and animals, creating this intricate web of interdependence. And it's not just about survival. This provision also speaks to the idea of enjoyment, of delighting in the bounty of the natural world.
It's like the creator is saying, here's everything you need, not just to survive, but to thrive.
Exactly.
And then the story culminates with that powerful declaration. God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. There's a sense of completion, of absolute perfection in that statement.
It is a powerful affirmation, but it also raises some interesting questions.
It does.
What does good actually mean in this context?
Yeah.
Does it imply a static perfection, a finished product? Or is there room for change, for evolution, for the possibility of things becoming even better over time?
Those are good questions to ponder. It makes you wonder how this idea of goodness continues to shape our values, our ethics, and our understanding of the world around us. What do you think?
It's certainly a concept that's woven into the fabric of many cultures and belief systems. And as we move into a future filled with complex challenges, perhaps revisiting these fundamental questions about what constitutes a good world might offer some valuable insights.
It's incredible how much depth we've uncovered just in this one ancient text.
I know.
We've gone from a formless void to a vibrant world teeming with life, explored the establishment of time and order, and delved into the complexities of human existence and our role on this planet.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
I know, it's amazing.
This creation story, it's like a wellspring of ideas. Every time you revisit it, you discover new layers of meaning and new questions to ponder.
You really do.
Yeah.
It makes you realize how these ancient stories continue to resonate with us today,
Yeah,
shaping our values, influencing our understanding of the world.
absolutely. Take, for example, the concept of a Sabbath,
Right.
a day of rest. It's a direct echo of the creation narrative, a reminder that even the Creator rested after the work of creation. Or consider the idea of stewardship, of caring for the environment. It finds its roots in the very beginning of this story in the idea that humans are entrusted with the well-being of the natural world.
It's remarkable how these ancient ideas are still so relevant to modern life. And it makes me think about how understanding this creation story, even if you don't take it literally, can offer a valuable framework for navigating the complexities of our world.
Precisely. Whether you approach this story from a religious, philosophical, or purely literary perspective,
Right.
there's something undeniably powerful about it. It speaks to our deep-seated desire to understand our origins, our purpose, and our relationship to the cosmos.
It's like this story provides a map, not necessarily a literal one,
Right.
but a map of ideas, values, and beliefs that have shaped human thought for millennia. And by understanding that map, we can better understand ourselves and our place in the grand scheme of things.
Exactly. And that brings us back to you, dear listener. We've explored the beginning, the creation of everything according to this ancient narrative. But now we leave you with a final thought, something to carry with you as you continue your own explorations. If this story is the starting point, where does it lead? How does it inform your understanding of the world, your values, and your own journey?
The creation story may offer a beginning, but the rest of the story of humanity and our relationship with the world around us, well, that's still being written.
It is.
And in a way, we're all contributing to that story with our choices, our actions, and the ways we choose to live our lives.
So as you go forth, consider this. What kind of world do you want to create? What legacy do you want to leave behind?
Yeah.
And how can understanding this ancient narrative with all its complexities and contradictions help you write your own chapter in the ongoing story of humanity?
It's been an incredible dive exploring the creation story with you. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep into the stories that shape our world.